ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत
Still
स्वामिनि
patch is there,
नामिने।
Prabhuji.
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सितारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Mother, still the patch is there? Hare Krishna, Mother, still the patch is there? Hare Krishna, Mataji, still the patch is there?
Clear, Prabhuji, now.
Mataji, is it clearly visible now? Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji, is it clearly visible? Hare Krishna, Mataji. I'm surprised there is no patch on the screen because I am also relaying it on another device and that is, it's very clear. Hare Krishna, is am I audible? Okay. So today, as you know, that today is the actual last day of our spiritual journey. Today we are going to cover this 18th chapter and the level 1 class will be over today. But I believe that today the class is not going to be over because level 1 is just a start of the spiritual journey. You have all the rights to do level 2, level 3, level 4, which is completely free. But the condition is that you have to complete all the quizzes, and when you complete all the quiz, then only you are eligible for level 2. But for that you should not exit the WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group is a medium through which communication can be established between the temple and you. So never exit the WhatsApp group, and this Gyan Yagna should be continued. The Gyan Yagna should be going on as it is. The level 1 is over and you have to do your self study. You have to complete the quizzes, and as and when the temple announce for the level 2, please enroll yourself. Once you complete the entire level 1 program, the quizzes, everything. So if you see, the chapter title is perfection of renunciation. That means Sanyas ki siddhi, moksha Sanyas yoga. Today chapter will be a bit longer. This is the longest chapter with 78 shloka. So I would need, I would say 10-15 minutes more if possible. I will take. Although I will try to cover within the time frame. If not, then I will ask for 10 minutes extra. The first shloka, Arjuna is saying, Arjuna is saying, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, that is Tyaga, and the renounced order of life, that is Sanyas, O killer of the Kesi demon. You can see the first sloka is like this. Arjuna Vachaha Sanyasasya Mahabhavo Tattvam Ichchami Veditum Tyagasya cha Rishikesha Prithak Keshi Nishudana. Here you see this particular, if you see the image of a horse, that horse is nothing but a demon. The name of the demon is Keshi. And since this demon was killed by Krishna, that's why the another name of Krishna is Keshi Nishudana. And someone who has already gone to Vrindavan, they know very clearly that there is a ghat. When you do the Vrindavan Parikrama, there is a particular ghat which is known as Keshi Ghat. Because that particular place, the demon Keshi was been killed by Krishna. So Arjuna is asking that I wanted to understand what is the purpose of renunciation, why people do renunciation, and what is sannyasa. So I need to understand what is this sannyas. I need to understand the sannyas ashram. What is renunciation and what is sannyas? This is what question. The chapter starts with a question from Arjun. I believe I'm very clearly audible. If I'm not audible, please text. So second sloka says, the giving of the activities that are based on the material desire is what learned men call the announced order of sannyas. And giving of the result of the activity is what the wise call renunciation. So Krishna is not giving his opinion. Krishna is giving the opinion of learned people and wise people. That means Vidwan and Buddhiman. Someone who is Vidwan, that means learned people. He's saying that they say that based on the material desire, if you leave something, giving of the activities based on the material desire is known as sannyas. And some wise people term it that when you give up the result of the activities, that means karma phal. When you give the karma phal, when you give the karma phal, you renunciate the karma phal, then it becomes renunciation. So renunciation is basically giving away the fruitive results of the activities. And sannyas is giving up the activities that is based on the materialistic desire. So this is the opinion given by the learned people as well as wise people. But what is the opinion of Krishna? It is, we have to still wait for that. Now Krishna is saying, some learned men declare that the kinds of fruitive activities should be given up. But there are yet other sages who maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. That means Krishna is saying, some Vidwan people, some learned men says that the fruity activities of any kind of work should be given up. Chhod dena chahiye. Sakam karm should be given up. There is no need of sakam karm. But there are some more wise men, some other sages who say that yagya, dan, and tap, that means sacrifice, charity, and penance, should never be abandoned. That means that at any given point of time, because of whatsoever reason, we should never ever give up the sacrifice, charity, and penances. So we should always do yagya, dan, and tapasya. This is the opinion of some Vidwan or sage people. Still Krishna is not giving his opinion. So what to do then? Now let's see. Now Krishna is saying in the fifth sloka, what Krishna is saying? Yakyadana tap karmana tyajam karmamev tat yagyo dana tapeshwa pavnani manishinam. Krishna is saying act of sacrifice, charity, and penances are not to be given up but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penances purify even the great soul. Krishna is saying that sacrifice, that is yagya, charity, that is dan, penances, that is tapasya, should never be given up. It should always be done. And he's saying, indeed, this sacrifice, charity, and penances purify the great souls. That means this is something which is very important. At any given point of time, none of the three things should be given. Indeed, it purifies the soul. So it is important. The sacrifice, charity, and penances are important. All these activities should be performed without expectations of results. That means the sacrifice, the charity, and the penances, all these three things, yajna, dana, and tapasya, should be performed without any expectations of the result. That means you have to perform with nishkam bhav. They should be performed as a matter of duty. Krishna is saying you should do it considering that this is your duty. Like if you see in the image, a animal is been saved by a particular person. So if you think that I have saved the life of this person, I have done a very great job, then it's wrong. He should consider this, that I have saved this life because it's my duty. So when you consider it as duty, then you get never attached to the fruitive results of the activities. And then it leads to elevation of the material modes of nature. So that is the final opinion of Krishna, that all these yajna, dana, and tapasya, the sacrifice, charity, and penances should be done without the expectations of result. So whenever we do anything, whatever we do, if you are studying, if you are working, if you are doing job also, if you are doing any kind of pious activities also, we should think that it is my responsibility and it's my duty to do it. I'm not doing anything great. It's my responsibility as a human being. And when you start doing this in this particular way, then you will never ever get attached. You will always be detached. That means if you are helping someone, don't think that you will get rewarded or you will be get recognized or you will have your own advertisement. No. The knowledge, the object of the knowledge, and the knower are the three factors which motivate the actions. Okay? If you recollect the chapter number 13, where we talked about Gyan, Ge, and Gyata, if you recollect, the knowledge, the object of the knowledge, and the knower are the three factors which motivates the action. The senses, the work, and the doer comprise the threefold basis of action. Right? Now let's talk about the 19th shloka. Although if you see the chapter has 78 shloks, but then also I have tried to address close to 50 shloks in this. So might be, since I have tried to address maximum of the sloka, so additional time might be required, might be. It depends on how much we interact. If we interact much, then definitely it will be requiring time. So better be prepared that if additional time is required, so you're mentally ready for that. The 19th shloka says, three kinds of knowledge based on the modes of material nature. So you know the material modes of material nature are three. One is mode of goodness, that is satogun, and another is mode of passion, that is rajogun, and third is mode of ignorance, that is tamogun. So now we are going to discuss the kind of knowledge based on the three modes. So if you're in satogun, which knowledge you will exhibit? If you are in rajogun, which knowledge you are going to exhibit? And if you're in tamogun, then how you are going to exhibit that knowledge? The 20th shloka says that knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all the existence, undivided in the divided, is known in the mode of goodness. Now, that means if you start seeing that in each and every living creature, Krishna is there, the Param Paramatma, the Parmeshwar is there, then you are in the mode of goodness. So whether it is human being, whether it is animal, whether it is birds, whether it is any living entity, when you start seeing that there is an ansh of Ishwar into that everyone belongs to that same Krishna, then when you start experiencing this, then you are in the mode of goodness. And you know, in Atharvaved it is said that any creature, any living being who is having the capability to become a mother or father, That means any living creature who can do reproduction should never be consumed. That means whether it is cat, whether it is dog, whether it is cow, whether it is buffalo, whether it is goat, whether it is hen, it should never ever be consumed. It is not for your food. That means completely give away the meat eating. If you are if you have given up the meat eating, then you are in the mode of goodness. Now, the 21 shloka. That knowledge by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is knowledge in the mode of passion. That means a person who sees that in each and every living entity, he is seeing that every living entity is different. That means he doesn't see Krishna in each and every living entity. Then he is into the mode of passion. He sees that my body is different and this mosquito is different. My body is different, the cow is different. My body is different, the cat is different. There is a difference between cat and dog. So if you differentiate the living creature, then he is a mode of passion. And the 22nd slok says, and that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth and which is very meager, is said to be the mode of darkness. That means mode of darkness is nothing but mode of ignorance. That is tamogun. So what he does, he sees that oh, everyone is different, and he gets attached. So what he does, he will always drink. He will be a drunkard kind of person. He will be always believing in whining and dining. He will try to become socialized. He will show that how good I am socializing. He will try to impress by throwing a large big party. He will try to increase the, he will say that, oh, see, I am giving a huge party, I'm a party animal. So he will basically increase his fan following. He will show his lifestyle that, oh, see, my lifestyle is better than yours. I'm living a very huge lavish lifestyle. Such kind of attached to one kind of work is nothing but mode of darkness. So let's come to the 23rd sloka. Now, three kinds of actions based on the modes of material nature. In the previous slide, we talked about three kinds of knowledge. Now we are going to talk about three kinds of karma based on the Satogun, Rajagun, and Tamogun. As for actions, that means as for karma, that action in accordance with the duty which is performed without attachment, without love or hate, by one who has renounced the fruity result is called mode in the action in the mode of goodness. That means, sorry, this is number 22. Huh? I believe the number is wrong. Here, if someone is doing the action without any attachment, that means nishkam bhav, and because of that action, he doesn't love it, neither he hates it. And someone who has already given up the fruity results, that means is not attached with the result of the activity, is already in the mode of goodness. Now the next look says, but action performed with great effort by one seeing to gratify his desires, which is enacted from a sense or false ego, is called action in the mode of passion. Now, someone who does the work and wants to gratify his desires, that means by doing the work, he wants to fulfill his desires, or he wants to fulfill his false ego, then he is into the mode of passion. Such kind of people are always in the they, if something goes according to them, then they are happy, and something doesn't go according to them, then they become envy and jealous also. So such kind of people are nothing but they do the activity in the mode of passion, and that action performed in ignorance and delusion without consideration of future bondage or consequences, which inflicts injury and is impracticable, is said to be the action in the mode of ignorance. That means basically, if you see, such kind of people who does these activities are in the mode of ignorance. Like Such people, they do the work, but they don't take the responsibility of the work. They always shy away from taking the responsibilities. They do wrong activities, something which can put your head down. They do such activities. Such kind of people, whatever comes into the mouth, they straight away say without thinking whether that the words or the action what they are performing can hurt anyone. They don't think. Such kind of work is nothing but mode of ignorance. Now let's talk about three kinds of workers based on the modes of material nature. We talked about three kinds of knowledge. We talked about the knowledge. We talked about the action. Two things. Now we are talking about the workers. The worker who is free from all material attachment and false ego, who is enthusiastic and resolute, and who is indifferent to success or failure, is a worker in the mode of goodness. That means someone who is doing the work, and since he's executing that work, but then also he's not attached with that work, and he is free from the false ego. He's enthusiastic, he's resolute, and he doesn't bother whether the work he's doing, whether it will lead to success or failure. Then he is into the mode of goodness. He is very much determined person. He is very much excited, but he doesn't bother whether it is failure or success. He just enjoy doing the work. That is mode of goodness because he's not attached. But that worker who is attached to the fruits of his labor and who passionately wants to enjoy them, who is greedy, envious, and impure, and is moved by happiness and distress, is a worker in the mode of passion. That means this kind of passionate worker or Rajoguni worker, he does the work only he knows that he is going to get benefit. If he know that by doing this work there is no benefit, then he will never do it. And when he does the work, he wants to enjoy the benefit of the work also. He is very greedy, he is very envy and impure and moved by happiness. That means he is very excited. The 28th one, that worker who is always engaged in work against the injection of the scripture. That means the Shastra which is saying, the scriptures which is saying, he is doing completely opposite to that. He is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others. Who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is a worker in the mode of ignorance. That such kind of people, they do completely opposite. Society has its own law, and they don't follow the law. They do always wrong thing. They are known as sometimes Dirghasutri. Dirghasutri means a 1 hour of the work will be delayed to weeks and months, and then also it will not be executed because such mode of ignorant people are always lazy. Three kind of intelligence. Now let's talk about the buddhi, intelligence. Let's see the impact of intelligence in Satagun, Rajagun, and Tamogun. O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows that ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, that understanding is established into the mode of goodness. That means someone who is already in Satogun, they very well know that what is, what kind of work, what kind of activity shall be done and shall not be done, for what needs to be fear, what not to be fear, what is the work which will liberate them and what will bind them. If they have this understanding based on the intelligence, then they are into the mode of goodness. And someone who is always action that should not be done, that imperfect understanding, that imperfect understanding is in the mode of passion. So the passionate people doesn't know whether it is good, bad, what is going to bind, what is going to liberate, what is religious, what is irreligious. They don't know this. Such kind of people are nothing but mode of passion. Rajoguri people. And that understanding which considers irreligion to be religion, religion to be irreligion, under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always into the wrong direction, is into the mode of ignorance. That means Tamoguri people feels that they know the perfect thing, with, and they will say religion is irreligion, irreligion is religion. That means completely opposite. They are always into the illusion and darkness, and strives always into the wrong direction. That means they always do wrong things only. If you will tell them also that this is not right, do in this way, they will say, I know better than you. You shut your mouth. They are such kind of people. They feel that their knowledge is always superior than others, whether and the knowledge which they have is irrelevant, waste, doesn't make a difference to them. But they are very opposite of the scriptures. Such is nothing but tamoguni people, mode of ignorance. Now let's talk about three kinds of determinations. Three kinds of determination in Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and thus controls the mind, life, and the act of the senses, is in the mode of goodness. That means the determination which they have is unbreakable, and they will sustain with yoga practices, and they control the mind and the acts of the senses. They are not the slave of the senses, they control the senses. They are in the mode of goodness. That means such people are known as Satoguni people. Their determination is pure. Whereas the determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of nature of passion. That means someone who feels that economic development is most important. Knowledge है या नहीं क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Knowledge is not so important. Fruitive result is the one which is important. Economic development is more important. Sense gratification is the purpose of life. Such persons are nothing but passionate people. They have the Rajoguni one. And the 34th sloka says that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, illusion, such unintelligent determination is into the mode of darkness. That means someone who always do daydreaming, someone because of fearfulness they don't work, they fear that they will fail, and because of failure of the work they don't do it. Straight away just sleep, dream, they lament, moroseness, illusion. They are always in the mode of darkness. That is nothing but tamoguni people. Now let's talk about three kinds of happiness. We have seen determination, knowledge, actions, whatever, workers. Now we talk about happiness. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end just like nectar, and which awakens one's to self-realization, is said to be Hmm. Hare Krishna Mataji, can you see? Can you see the slide, Mataji? Mataji, are you there in the class?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm here.
Okay. Is the slide visible?
Yes, visible, Prabhuji. Now
Okay,
visible.
I have changed the network altogether.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Now
Yeah,
visible, Prabhuji.
yeah. I was saying that 37 sloka says that certain type of work which looks like in the start it's look like say poison. That means like if you see reading Bhagavad Gita, following the four principles, doing a japa, it in the initial stage it looks like that it's a poison. Too much of been asked, too much of activity needs to be done, and immediately you don't see any benefits also. We're asking to control your senses. Difficult. Getting up in the morning, oh, very big task. We are talking about to leave the processed food. We're talking to eat the sattvic food. So in the start, it looks poisonous, and you don't see the results in the start. But when you start practicing it, then in the end or in the latter part, it's a nectar in altogether. That is nothing but goodness. Whereas the 38th sloka says that happiness which is derived from contact of senses with their objects, which appears like nectar at the first but poison at the end, is said to be the nature of passion. That means in the start it looks like, oh, what a thrilling experience, what a nectar, and then it turns out to be a poison. Now, let me give you an example, materialistic example. I will give. Suppose you are a married person, and although you are a married person, then also you are having an extramarital affair outside of a marriage. So in the initial stage, you will be enjoying that union. You will be enjoying, you feel, oh, that's the life. This is the actual enjoyment. You will tell something else in your home. You will do some wrong projections. You will be saying wrong things to your wife, and you will go to Goa, you will go to Bangkok, you will go to Amsterdam, you will go to somewhere else. You will enjoy that nectar. But what happens later on, that goes into your throat, that will hold you up, that will be creating problems in your married life. It will be really difficult in the later part to manage the home also and the extramarital affair. Then it becomes a poisonous thing in the end. So something which looks very appealing in the start turns out to be a poison at the end. Such kind of nature is nothing but passionate nature, Rajoguni. Or I can give another example, like in the start you will be the stock market. In the start, if you generate some profits, you will be really enjoying the nectar. Oh, kitna paisa hai iske in the stock market mein, too much of money. And you start more investment, you do more investment, you put some more investment, and suddenly your entire investment goes off. You make a huge loss. That's turned out to be poison. Stock market is also passionate activity. Now the next is, and that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be the nature of ignorance. That means in such there is no happiness. It is grief. It is problems. It is issues. दुख ही दुख होता है इसमें. Like suppose some people, they cannot manage without cigarette. They cannot manage without liquor. They cannot manage without tobacco. They cannot manage without drugs. Such kind of happiness which they derive from drugs, cigarette, tobacco is nothing but nature of ignorance. Now let's talk about four kind of ashrams. You know ashrams, four kind of ashrams: Brahman, peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are qualities by which Brahman works. The 43rd says heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the qualities of Kshatriyas. 44th slok says farming, cattle raising, and business are the quality of work for the Vaishyas. And for the Shudras, there is labor and service to others. So here Krishna is talking about the ashrams. Krishna is talking about the one thing, that Brahman one, Kshatriya one, Vaishya one, and Shudra one. Here Krishna is talking based on the qualities, not based on the birth. Now in current environment, current time, we have actually created this one based on the birth system. It's all politically motivated. A son of a Brahman is a Brahman, a son of a Shudra is a Shudra, a son of a Kshatriya is a Kshatriya. No, during the time of Krishna, it was all because of the good which he has. It is all because of the material nature he displays. Actually, Brahman is someone who gives knowledge, irrespective whether it is Kshatriya or Shudra or Vaishya. Someone who gives knowledge is a Brahman. In today's environment, someone who is doing duty for the country, like police, army men, CRPF, they are nothing but what? They are actual Kshatriya because they are taking care of it. Someone who take care of administration is also part of Kshatriya, like ministers, leaders who lead from the front. They are Kshatriyas. Farming, cattle raising, businesses, anyone who belongs to the business class who does business is Vaishya. So whether it is Brahman by birth or Shudra or Vaishya, anyone who does the business today is a Vaishya. And Shudra, people feel that Shudra is inferior, lower, but actually it's not. Shudra is the superior thing, because if you see the lotus feet of Krishna is what? Shudra resembles the feet of Krishna. So someone which is resembled by the feet of Krishna, it cannot be Shudra, because Krishna feet is supreme. It's a lotus feet, and Shudra is never a Shudra. We all think from a wrong perspective. Anyone who provides service, anyone who does the job is a Shudra. So anyone who is working, whether it's a director, whether it's a general manager, whether it's a manager, whether it's a executive, they all are Shudra. So it's not because of birth. Actually, from the Krishna time, it is all because of good only. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. That means by doing, Brahman does teaching, Kshatriya does take care of the army work, administrations, Vaishya does business, Shudra does service. There's nothing wrong into this. The 47th shloka says, it is better to engage in one's occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Prescribed duties according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. That means it very clearly says that don't follow other activities. Someone who is expert in any other activities, and if you are not expert in that activity, you should never do. If you are an expert in any kind of activities, if having a hold of the activities which you should do that only. You should never copy someone else. Like the example is given. A teacher is sitting on a table, and it's monkey, dolphin, fish, elephant, dog, everyone is there. He's saying that someone who first climbed the tree wins. So can you think the fish can climb the tree or the dolphin can climb the tree? It's the monkey who will climb the tree because he is expert into that. Similarly, whatever specialty we have, we should work as per that. Even though we will do wrong thing, we should never ever be carried away by someone else who is doing that. Suppose person A is there and that person A is doing good work. He's generating good amount of money by doing some business. Maybe you can think that if I do the same work, you will also generate good amount of money. But maybe you don't have an specialty into that. You don't know how to take care of that work. So simply by copying that work, you cannot be a master into that. You are master in your own skills. So the skills which you have, you should do the work as per that. Never ever copy. And this is one of the reasons why we are not happy. We just try to copy someone. And suppose I am an engineer, I am expert in my field. And if I say, oh, that doctor is making money, let me also do the same thing. So if I try to be a doctor, I cannot be a good doctor because I am not a skilled into that. And neither that doctor who is making good money, if he says that the engineer is making much more money than me, so can he be an engineer? No. Vice versa is also not possible. So every person is specialized in a different skills. So he should take care of that particular skills only, not to copy. Krishna is saying one can obtain the result of renunciation simply by self-control and by becoming unattached to the material things and disregarding material enjoyments. This is the highest perfect stage of renunciation. So how the highest perfect stage of renunciation can be obtained? By simply self-control and by becoming unattached to the material things. So we should be doing a practice of detachment to material things and disregarding the material enjoyment. By then only we can be attaining the perfect stage of renunciation. The 54th slok says, one who thus transcendently situate at once realizes the supreme Brahma. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service into me. So Krishna is saying, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na Sochiti na Kankshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labte Paramam. That means one who is transcendently situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman. Someone who is at that particular level where he can see that in every living creature, whether it's a tiger, whether it's a lion, whether it's a dog, whether it's a elephant, whether it's any creature, supreme Brahma resides into it. Then he will never lament. He will never desire of anything. And he will be equally disposed to every living entity. He will have love for all the living entity, including a snake also. Then he attends the pure devotional service. The 50th shloka says, one can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service, and one who is full consciousness by the Supreme Lord by such. That means Krishna is saying, how can you go to Goloka? Krishna is saying, how can you go to Vaikuntha? Only by devotional service. When we can understand the Supreme Personality, we can understand Krishna through devotional service, through bhakti only. And with bhakti, we can go to Vaikuntha or Goloka. Krishna is saying, though engage in all kind of activities, my pure devotees under my protection reach the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. This is an assurance from Krishna. Krishna is assuring that Shuddha Bhakt, the pure devotees, and though they are engaged in all kind of activities, they do right things because they are under the protection, and because of protection from Krishna, they reaches the eternal and imperishable abode, that is Goloka, because Krishna is having grace on them. So whatever we want to do, we should do for the Krishna only. Our all activities, our all karma should be dedicated to Krishna only. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, if you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Now, this shloka is actually a warning. Krishna is not suggesting anything. Krishna is giving a straight away warning that if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacle of conditional life by my grace. That means if you are conscious, if you are determined, if you are having faith in me, then because of my grace, you will pass all the obstacles. You will cross the ocean of miseries also by my grace. But if you don't have consciousness and faith in me, and if you have false ego, if you don't hear me, then you are going to be lost. You will be vinashed. You will going to be nashed. So Krishna is straight away giving warning that if you trust me, if you have faith in me, if you have consciousness in me, I will take care of me. You will have all my grace. And if you don't have that, then you will be lost. No one can save you. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjun, and is directing the wanderings of all the living entities who are seated on as a machine made up of material energy. Krishna is very clearly saying that I am situated in everyone's heart. Krishna is there in everyone's heart. And I am directing everything because the material energy who is acting as a machine, I am controlling that. I am controlling it. So it's all in my control. No one can control me. And finally, Krishna is saying, oh, surrender unto me, unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. That means if you want to attain the supreme eternal abode, if you want to attain the transcendental peace, if you want the kripa of Krishna, if you want to go to his Golok, Vaikuntha Dham, then what we should do? We should do unconditional surrender to Krishna. Unconditional. When we do unconditional surrender to Krishna with 101% faith, then we can get the transcendental peace by his grace and we can go to his Nitya Dham, supreme and eternal abode. You know, in Jagannath Puri, Rath Yatra always used to happen. The king of that Jagannath Puri, when the Rath Yatra used to happen, he used to clean the road by his broom, and that broom was made by gold. Such kind of surrender has to be done to Krishna. It should not that, oh, I am the king, why should I clean the road? No, he will clean the road because he is king, but he is the supreme king. He is the supreme personality. So he is a materialistic king of a kingdom, but he is the supreme personality of Godhead for all the universe. Now, very important shloka, very, very important shloka which Krishna is saying. Now, Krishna is saying, Iti te jnanam akyatam guhat guha taram maya vimrishya etat asheshena yatha ichasi tatha kuru. That means Krishna is saying, Yatha ichasi tatha kuru. Thus, I have explained to you the most confidential of all the knowledge, deliberated on this fully, and then you do what you wish to do. Krishna is saying, Yatha ichasi tatha kuru. Do you what you want to decide. Krishna is very clearly saying. So I have given you all the knowledge. I have told you that what is Janam, what is Mrityu, what is Devi, what is Devtas. You know that, and now you know the confidential knowledge also. So I have explained you everything. Now, whatever you wish, you do. Now it's your decision, Arjun. Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. So whatever you wish, you decide now. I have explained to you all the things. The most confidential of the knowledge I have given you. I have told about my opulences also. I have shown my Vishwarup also. I have told you that you are not a body, you are a soul. I have told you all the confidential things. Now my work is over, Arjun. You decide what you want to do. Now he's saying, very important. These all slokas are very, very pure. Saying, मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मथेताजी मां नमस्कुरु माम एव एष्यसि सत्यम ते प्रतिजाने प्रियसि me. That means he's saying always think of me and become my devotee. There is nothing else to be think about me. You should think about me only. Don't think about anything else. Become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. He is saying that always think about me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage to me. And by doing this, you will come to me without fail because there is no one else for whom you can do this. I am the only one. I am the only cause of all the causes. This is what Krishna is giving the guarantee to Arjun. Again, very important sloka. Very important sloka. Sarva dharmana paritajya mama ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshiyasmi ma shutruha shuchah. That means Krishna is saying, abandon all the varieties of religion. Hey Arjun, abandon all the varieties of religion and just surrender into me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So Krishna is saying, whether you are Hinduism, whether you are practicing Sikhism, whether you are practicing Islamism, Jainism, socialism, feminism, all should live and only surrender to me with 100%. I will take care of all the things. I shall deliver you from all the sinful reaction. I will take care of you. Do not fear. Leave everything. Just surrender to me. Because I am the source of Sanatan religion. All the religions are been manufactured in this material world, but Sanatan religion is established by me. So surrender into me. Abandon all the varieties of religion and surrender into me. So what are the four things Krishna says us to do? Krishna says to do chanting. Krishna says to offer the foods with tulsi leaves. Krishna says to do the worshipping and namaskar. That means samarpan. These are the four things Krishna says us to do. The 67th sloka. Thus, confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. Krishna very clearly says that someone who is jealous of Krishna, someone who doesn't understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, someone who is envious of Krishna, this confidential Bhagavad Gita knowledge should never be given to them. Never given to them because they are not eligible for this. For one who explains the supreme secret of the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. So Krishna is saying, who explains the supreme secret to the devotees? Like this supreme secret of knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, is shared to devotees that this is nothing but a devotional service, and this is guaranteed at the end, he will come back to me. So what we should do? We should apply in our life. We should ensure that we share this supreme secret knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to others also. What should we do? Let's see. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear to me. So what we should do? This supreme secret rahasya, which has been told to devotees, and when we told this to devotees, this becomes our devotional service to Krishna, and then he guarantees that he will give us the Krishna award. So we should spread this Bhagavad Gita knowledge to everyone. We should ask all the non-devotees or devotees to be part of this Bhagavad Gita class. We should at least ensure that 5 members, 10 members should be added into the future Bhagavad Gita class so that we also do some service towards Krishna. And Krishna is declaring that, and I declare that who studies this secret conversation of our worship me by his intelligence. Krishna very clearly says that. So if we are becoming devotee of Krishna, it is because Krishna is giving blessings on us. It is all because of the grace of Krishna. And who and one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from the sinful reactions and attains to the planet where the pious dwells. Very clearly saying, someone who listens this entire knowledge of Bhagavad Gita with faith, without envy, becomes free from the sinful reaction and attain to the heavenly planets. Now Arjun is responding. Now Arjun is responding to Krishna. Arjun says, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I am free from the illusion. I have regained my memory by your mercy. And I am now firm and free from the doubt. There is no doubt in me, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. So you have said, Yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. So you have told me to decide what I want to do. Now I have decided that I will prepare to act whatever you want to do. So I will follow your instructions. आप आदेश करो मैं वही करूंगा जैसा चाहो वैसा करूंगा. Give me the instruction, I will follow your footsteps. I'm ready to act on your instructions. So Arjun is saying that I will fight as per your instructions. Finally, after 40 minutes of Gita, Arjun decided to fight. So if you see in the first chapter, Arjun was completely confused and he was in tears. And now he is ready to fight because in these 40 minutes of Gita, he understood the entire secret of knowledge. And we have taken 18 days. The 74 to 76 sloka says, thus Sanjay is saying, now the conversation between Krishna and Arjun is over. Now Sanjay is saying to Dhritarashtra, thus I have heard the conversation of two great souls, the Krishna and Arjun, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on, and that means I am romanchit, I am happy. I don't know what to say. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard this most confidential talk directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjun. Because of the Vyasa, I have got the divine eyes, and because of the divine eyes, I have seen and listened to the confidential discussion between Krishna and Arjun. O King, O Dhritarashtra, as I repeatedly call this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjun, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. So he is very clearly saying in Hastinapur to Dhritarashtra that Shakshat Yogeshwar is Krishna, and I have listened to him what he has told to Arjun. I have completely listened to the entire Bhagavad Gita, and this Bhagavad Gita is really elaborative, really exhaustive, and is full of knowledge. Now in the last sloka, he very clearly says into the last sloka that Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Sri Virjayo Bhuti Dhruvo Niti Mati Mama. Now he's saying wherever there is Krishna, the master of all the mystics, master of Yogeshwar, he is Yogeshwar, and wherever there is Arjun, the supreme archer, the Dhanurdhar, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and mortality. That's my opinion. So he's not saying very clearly to Dhritarashtra, but because he is the secretary to Dhritarashtra, but he's saying wherever there is Krishna and Arjun, because Krishna is Yogeshwar and Arjun is Param Dhanurdhar, supreme archer. So wherever Arjun and Krishna will be there will be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That's his opinion. So with this, We are coming to the end of the chapter. So what is the life lesson from this? If Krishna is on your side, you will always win in life. So you should do such act by which Krishna will always favor you. Krishna will always side you. Like Krishna was on the side of Arjun, so he is going to win the war. So let's we also do some good activities, pious activities, as Krishna is also on our side. Human life is full of battles. Never shirk in fear. Fight to the last. Stand your ground. This entire life is nothing but dukha, dukhale. So we should never be surrender to grief. We should always surrender to Krishna. Take away message from Bhagavad Gita. We are spirit soul. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Devotional service is the best process to attain perfection. Now, a very important question. Very important question. Before I open the question answer sessions. Very important thing. You know that during our board examinations, what we used to do, we have all given the board examinations, right? Whenever our board examination used to come, we used to study, we increase our study. We used to get in association of good students so that all the doubts are cleared. We used to constantly get in touch with our teachers to get our doubts clear. We used to borrow digest also. We used to study the model question papers also. And when the day of examination comes, and when we go to the examination centers, and if we got 2 minutes, 5 minutes also, we used to turn our pages and pages and try to study till the last moment so that we get benefited. And I believe everyone has done the same. Everyone during our board examinations, the kind of pressure the student has, we have also gone to that examination pressure, right? We have also done. Don't you think that life is which we are living right now, we are living a life, and death is our final examination. And the death which is going to come, we never know it is going to come. It can come any moment. It can come today, right now also. It can come 10 years later on also, 20 years later on also, maybe 50 years down the line also. We never know that when the death examination is going to happen. So don't you think, since Krishna has given an opportunity, we are actually blessed by Krishna that we have undergone this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Don't you think we should prepare for this death examination like we have prepared for our board examinations? Now, in this material world, we are either MBAs, we are either PhDs, we are either postgraduates, we are graduates, whatever education we have done, we have undergone the board examinations. So, shall not we prepare for the final examinations? And what is the process of preparation? We have discussed in one particular chapter, right? Let me again reiterate, or anyone wants to say, how do we prepare? If anyone wants to say, please raise your hand. No one wants to say?
Megha Mataji, please unmute.
I had some questions. That is why I had raised my hands, not for
Okay,
this.
okay. Let me tell you then. Let me summarize that. What should we do to prepare for this death as an examination? We should increase our chanting. First of all, we should do at least one round of chanting. Minimum one round of chanting is required. If you want to attend level 2 also, not only you have to clear the quizzes of level 1, but also you should do one round of chanting. That is also a requirement. So if you want to clear this life as a test, then we should increase our chanting. That means 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and then finally minimum of 16 round of chanting should be done. We should read the Shastras, the scriptures. We should read Bhagavad Gita. We should read Bhagavatam. We should be always in the association of good people. Satsang we should do. And Nishkam Bhakti. niskam. And it doesn't come in just a spontaneous benefit doesn't come. That is not a reflex action is going to happen. You have to practice and practice and practice till your last breath. So it needs a pure life practice. You should see that Krishna is there in everyone's heart. Should try to follow the 4 ISKCON principles. Meat eating should be avoided. You should spread the practice of bhakti. You should spread the practice of Bhagavad Gita. You should spread the lessons, the learnings of Bhagavad Gita to others. Try to control the senses. Try to get detached from the karma false. Try to get detached from the fruitive activities. And whenever the new batch comes, you should spread this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to as many as people, so that not only you, but they also get benefits of this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. If we do all this, then definitely we can say that yes, we are in a better position to prepare for our final examination, that is that death. Okay. Before I open the question answer session, let me tell you, I am thinking to take a lecture on the Narak Yatra. That means journey to hell. I'm not talking about journey to heaven. No, I'm taking in completely opposite topic. Journey to hell, Narak Yatra. I'm thinking to take this class on when Sunday, the 6th of March. That means next Sunday. Will it be okay? The participants of this class will be, I will share the link to you definitely. That's why I have said that don't leave the WhatsApp group, because that WhatsApp group is an actual medium of communication. But another, there are certain more people, level 2 participants are also there, which I take class. But problem is that they are Hindi participants. So the class which I am going to conduct will be a mix of Hindi and English, because you you belong to English sessions and they belong to Hindi sessions. So it's a mix. So it will be a mix of Hindi and English. Will it be okay? Mind control techniques, we will say. Mind control techniques, I've already taken the class. If you want, I can repeat it. Already my class is there onto the YouTube also, and we can repeat it, no doubt. We can decide one particular day and we can take a mind control class also. But something which I have never taken, I want to take that class. That will be an excitement for me also, because I've never done a class on journey to hell, Narak Yatra, never. So let's target the 6th of March, and now we can have a question answer session. But before I start question answer session, again I want to thank Shri Vidya Mataji, because she has put a huge amount of efforts by sharing all kinds of messages, communications, links, PPTs, PDFs, everything. So I owe a huge amount of thanks to Shri Vidya Mataji, because of her only this class, and because of Namnishta Prabhu, the class, the modus operandi of the class has gone very, very smooth. This entire model of 18 days is all because of Namnishta Prabhu, and huge thanks to him also, and huge thanks to Shri Vidya Mataji, that because of her support, we could have managed to do the class seamlessly without any issues. Hare Krishna Mataji, we can take the question and answers.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, my pleasure, Prabhuji. I like to do this.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mega Mataji. Oh, Atish Prabhu, you are there today. I was
Prabhuji,
missing
my
you.
pleasure, Prabhuji. I like to do.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Please,
Krishna,
please.
Prabhuji, my pleasure. Actually,
Yeah,
there
Mataji.
is a program going on in our building.
Okay, okay,
It's sports day today.
okay, okay, okay.
Yes. Shall I
Yeah.
unmute, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Atish Prabhuji, please unmute.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Where were you for last 2 days, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the first day my WhatsApp access was revoked
Okay.
and it asked me to wait for 15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it only got released the next morning. So in an hour's time, my WhatsApp was again ready. But that
Okay.
day by evening, I had severe network issues and I
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't join.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did message the first day when my WhatsApp access was revoked. I did message uh, somehow through SMS, normal SMS,
Mm-hmm.
and even through Telegram that I need the link for Zoom,
Oh,
but
you
no
were
one
the,
replied.
you were the that particular person. I was not knowing
Yes,
because I was not knowing your name.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. Prabhuji, I am so happy that I am able to join class today, and it was so enlightening for me to hear such sacred things from you. Uh, Now, Prabhuji, I have a question. See, this
Yeah.
question I have for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, even after the Bhagavad class, this question does linger because
Mm-hmm.
it is strange. Like, see, everyone is destined to do certain things, and many a times a person gets deviated from his preordained course of life
Mm-hmm.
that he was supposed to follow because
Mm-hmm.
of peer pressure, or say because of wannabe attitude that I want to be this because I'm seeing this all things around,
Mm-hmm.
many other factors. So uh, how now everyone does not read Bhagavad Gita to
Mm-hmm.
know the principles, know the correct ways to of conducting life.
Mm-hmm.
So for normal people like I was,
Mm-hmm.
what is the advice if you are walking in a way, if you try to be egoless, if you try to maintain a equipoise that सब परिस्थिति में सबके साथ समभाव,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have gratefulness towards uh, life around, the one who breathes in you. I believe that Krishna breathes in me. I don't believe that it is me. I never believed so.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that if I have done wrong, definitely Krishna was there, and that's why he brought me to Bhagavad Gita classes now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not true, sir? This is what my question is. Now, I feel that for a person in this world, in today's age, nothing is correct, nothing is wrong, as long as he surrenders everything, his thoughts, words, action to God, Bhagwan Krishna. This is what I believe for many years now, and
Prabhuji, if you see, let me summarize your question if I have correctly understood your question. Prabhuji, nothing happens by chance. Nothing happens by chance. Anything happens, it's because of the wish and will of Krishna only. We all know that because of Krishna will only we are part of these Bhagavad Gita sessions. So it's all the wish which Krishna has, but Krishna has the wish for everyone. Krishna has the will for everyone. But how much we take from him? Krishna wants to that we all Krishna wants us to be part of his residence, Golok. He wants, that's why he has given this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. But how much we do take care of it, how much we absorb, that is our work.
yes,
Krishna is giving blessings on us. Krishna is giving grace on each and every person. Krishna is not biased to you and me. Krishna is unbiased. But
yes,
it depends on us whether how much we take from him, how much we take.
y-
If we derive the benefits from the Krishna's grace, then yes, we are on to the right path. We are on to the right path, Prabhuji.
yes. Uh, and one more thing, Prabhuji. I'm sorry to say, even
Mhm.
my family was really not happy with me because they have been seeing me for because I'm not in my hometown. I'm in in Siliguri, and which is in West Bengal, and I actually stay in Pune.
Mhm,
So, and I had come here because two people deceased due to Corona. I
mhm,
came here for their final rites.
mhm. Oh,
So now I'm in someone else's house, and I do conduct Ekadashis. And
good,
today,
good, good, good that you reminded me of Ekadashi. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. Yeah, it's a Vijaya Ekadashi. So
y-
if you
yes,
all
yes,
fast, it will be really great, Prabhuji,
yes,
Mataji.
I'm fasting, Prabhuji. But as per Panchang, Ekadashi has started today morning at 10 o'clock, and it is gonna end at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So
No,
before tomorrow morning, I will finish the
Prabhuji,
worship.
Prabhuji, we follow the Vaishnav calendar, and as per the Vaishnav calendar or the Vaishnav app which we have,
Uh-huh.
it's Ekadashi is tomorrow, and the fasting is going to broken day after tomorrow, Prabhuji, not today.
Yes, yes. I haven't kept a fast today because because I uh, I I knew from somewhere that I have one should be fasting on the 27th, not the 26th. So I did not keep the fast today. But today I had chicken. I'm so sorry. So when I said that tomorrow I would be fasting, and because
Uh,
I will be fasting because it is Ekadashi, they are saying that today you are having chicken and tomorrow you will be fasting, and you are trying to prove that you are a great devotee. I said that no way, I don't have much money now, and neither I don't have any supply of food from somewhere else. So if you have made chicken, I have to eat chicken. So I am having
so,
it now.
so, Prabhuji, what money has to do with this, Prabhuji? If you can buy a chicken, why can't you buy something else, Prabhuji?
No, I did not buy it. My family cooked it. So I
Okay, Prabhuji.
had.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, one last thing. Yeah,
Prabhuji,
the last
hope
one.
it's last.
It is the last thing. Well,
Yeah,
Prabhuji, I'm sorry. I want to attend the Bhagavad Gita basic 18-day course again.
please do
And
it, Prabhuji. Please do it.
so, will I get the information about the
Yes, yes, yes.
date of?
Yes, you please be in the group. The announcement of the new batch will soon happen. And when the announcement happens, there will be link. Please go and register into that link, and you can again attend the new session, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, and I want to attend the mind control class also.
Please be into the WhatsApp group only. All the information is going to be into the
Okay,
WhatsApp only. Yeah, Hare
sure,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
You all make a habit that at least once or twice in a day you just scroll to the WhatsApp group so that if there is any message you can go through it.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
yeah. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Archana Mataji, please unmute. Archana Mataji.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for being such a wonderful mentor for these 18 days. I don't know how now the next days we'll spend without the classes. So my question is,
Mataji, please continue reading this. If you
yes,
have it, nothing like it, please continue reading this.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So my question is, like in the end, Sanjay said that he had listened to this secret conversation of Arjuna and Krishna on the Bhagavad
Mhm.
Gita. But I just want to know when Krishna showed the Virat Swarup to Arjuna, was he also able to see that Virat Swarup?
Yeah, because he also had the divine eyes given by Ved Vyasa. He had
Okay,
also
so
seen it. Yeah.
and who are all others who listen to this secret conversation between these two, Krishna and Arjun?
Krishna, Arjun were direct participants. Indirect were Ved Vyasa and Sanjay. And it has been commented to Dhritarashtra.
I just saw in just in one of the TV episodes that one person more.
Barbaric.
Yes,
Barbaric.
Barbaric. Yes,
Yes.
Barbaric
Yes.
also. So
Yes.
he
Yes.
also listened it.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
some parrot also listened it.
Parrot?
I just read somewhere that some parrot
Mm,
also listened to the
no, no,
conversation.
no, Mataji. It was barbaric. You are very much right. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. Hare.
And what is the right procedure to keep the Ekadashi fast?
Very good question, Mataji. Mataji, if you want to fast for the Ekadashi, you have to abstain yourself from taking grains, especially like tomorrow is the fast tonight in the last, especially today dinner, one day before, you should not take grains. And on the day of fasting, you should not at all consume grains because grains are not at all allowed in Ekadashi. You can have whatever you want. You can have someone prefers to do Nirajal. If you can't do Nirajal, you can have fruits. You can have any kind of fruits. You can have milk also. So whatever you can do it, you can take it, you can manage it with that. Next day, it has to be for the entire day. Yeah? The next day there is a specific time as per the Vaishnav calendar when you have to close your fast. So closing the fast means you have to consume the grains. After taking bath, you can close it. But during the Ekadashi fast, you should not take any kinds of grains, whether it is wheat, whether it is rice, whether it is dal, whether it is anything. And when I say grains, that special importance should be given to rice and other grains.
Okay. And is there any part we have to do on the Ekadashi specific or some?
Mataji, there is an Vaishnav calendar. I will share the link of the calendar in the group. In that particular calendar, like tomorrow is Vijaya Ekadashi. So what is the story behind Vijaya Ekadashi? What did Yudhishthira asked to Krishna? What Krishna told to Yudhishthira regarding the Vijaya Ekadashi? Entire dialect has been mentioned into that. So you can go through that, Mataji. And not only this, I will share also some more details about Ekadashi fasting rules. But in general, the grains has not to be consumed.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah. And not only this, during the day of the fasting, we should try that we should be pure. We should not indulge into any kind of activities which can make us impure. That's it.
Okay,
Hare,
okay.
yeah. Hare Krishna.
And you told about you will be conducting a class on temple. So are you planning
Yes,
to do that?
yes, Mataji. I will be connecting a class on temple, but the first class will be going for Naraka Yatra.
Okay,
After that, I will do the class for temple. So whatever class I'm going to do, whether it is mind control techniques, whether it is temple, whether it is Narak Yatra, all the details are going to be shared into the WhatsApp group only. So please be with us in the WhatsApp groups. At least check daily. Maybe sometimes you will have no messages at all, and sometimes suddenly there will be message that this class is going to happen. So
okay,
please scroll through the messages. And next Sunday, mostly I will have a class on Narak
okay.
Yatra. Yeah.
And like for the first time, like we are reading the Bhagavad Gita, and in the very first time, all the things cannot be taken into
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
mind and hand. And when we
Yes, yes.
get the problems and when there are some questions in mind, how can we connect it to you? If I want to have
It would
answers to those
it would
questions.
it would be better, Mataji, to put a message onto the WhatsApp. As soon as I will see the message and whenever I will have the time, I will respond to it. I will request not to give a call because huge number of calls comes and then I cannot do justice with them. So it's
Okay,
better you put a message on WhatsApp and I will reply to the message then.
okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Vandana Mataji, please unmute. Vandana Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I would like to share my experience these days.
Yeah, yeah.
I always was reading Sri Krishna books. I have read it so many times. Daily, I would read two pages. Like that, I would continue, finish the book, and again I would start. So now, after joining this, of course, Sri Krishna was always in my mind, but I never did so much chanting. Now I started this thing 5 times. I have done
Great, great
chanting,
Mataji. Great Mataji.
and
Great.
I'll tell you, whether it's midnight, also if I get up, in my thoughts, it's always Sri Krishna in my mind. When I get up, also first thought that comes is Sri Krishna only. but now it is frequent. Previously also it was coming, but now it is so frequent. Even
That is
midnight
great.
also is there in my thoughts.
Great, Mataji. Great.
That is the difference.
Please please keep this with up. Please continue to upgrade yourself.
I just wanted, yeah, because I wanted to share, because that is what experience means. I want people to know when you why now we understand why he is telling. Where at the time, at the last moment, also, like, he's always there. There is no place where he's not there. Like every moment he is there. And early in the morning, what I do is I just put his bhajan, that Hare Krishna chanting of Sri. So even in the family, everyone can hear.
Very
So,
great, Mataji. Very great. Really
and
appreciate
even
it.
my sister has also joined. She has joined in the other language, that is our regional language, Kannada. So she is also, and then we told our brother-in-law also, he also is listening.
That's great.
So we are doing the chanting.
Actually, this is how we should spread it. And if you see on the very first day, I had told you that Bhagavad Gita has solutions to all the kinds of problems we have in this entire universe. So I believe now you all agree to it. And even though if you feel that some of the questions are not been answered, then you are feel free. You are free. Please put a message to me. I will try to answer that.
Yes.
And I have a very good ready reckoner. I have a ready reckoner chart available with me, which has
Okay.
solutions to all the problems of the life. And you have a particular kind of problems, and that problems belongs to particular category, and therefore that particular category of problem, which verses to be referred, which shloka of Bhagavad Gita should
Okay.
be referred, so that you can have a direct
Clear
understanding of the.
reference.
Yes, I will share that
Yeah, that would be very
ready
nice,
reckoner.
Prabhuji.
Yeah,
If
I will share that ready reckoner with you.
and I would like to tell also everyone, like, yes, while chanting, some mind gets distracted many times, but then again it comes back. And what I do while chanting, I was thinking about Lord Krishna's all leelas from
Yes.
his birth till this. So that way I would be able to concentrate that way.
Great, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this
Hare,
session.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Usha
Usha
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji, you are unmuted.
Usha Mataji, we can't hear you. There may be a network
Hare
issue,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. I'll call the next name.
Okay, Mataji.
Later on, we can unmute Usha Mataji. Deepak Prabhuji, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can
Hare
you,
Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I can hear you.
Prabhuji, my question is, it's just few time before Archana Mataji asked you that I mean, while Bhagavad Gita was told by Lord Krishna, who were there in this picture, like Arjuna, Sanjay, Dhritarashtra. I want to know whether Lord Hanumana was also there.
Prabhuji, Lord Hanuman was already there in the on the chariot of.
On the flag, on the flag.
Yes.
Kapiva.
And yeah, Kapidhwaj. And
Kapidhwaj, sorry, Kapidhwaj.
wherever Ramji is there, Hanumanji will be there. And Krishna is nothing but Ramji only. So he is always there, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to know this. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Usha Mataji, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
Mataji.
audible.
Yeah, Hare
Yeah,
Krishna,
sorry
Mataji.
for that. I don't know how I lost it. First of all, thank you, Prabhuji and Vidya Mataji, for this wonderful 18 days journey. And I don't know how to express my excitement that when I had the excitement I had when I started the course, and today it was like a bittersweet experience. Like it is coming to an end, and at the end again, I know that only we have actually got maybe a drop of the pure nectar, which is Bhagavad Gita, and eagerly awaiting to go to the next level where we will be able to learn more. And I hope, Prabhuji, you will be only our Guruji for the second level
Mm.
also.
Mataji, there are many more teachers who are much better than me, and I am nowhere related to them. I am really very inferior in front of them. So anyone who takes level 2, you will be definitely getting benefited, Mataji.
Yeah, so Prabhuji, I had only one question, because this is what I have heard when I was actually my in-laws were my spiritual gurus. So while we were discussing, this is long back history when I was learning Bhagavatam and all. At that time, my mother-in-law used to tell me, she is actually my spiritual guru. She used to say, like, I used to ask, like, when we chant Bhagavad Gita, it will take 2 hours to recite 700 slokas, around 2.5 hours. So this Bhagavad Gita starts at the middle of the Kurukshetra Yuddha, when Krishna has blown the Panchajanya, and that war has started. And when Arjuna has entered, that means war is already on. So that means how it is possible that 2 hours when he was reciting, that whether the everything was stabda, that means nothing else was happening. And in the presentation today, you said 40 minutes is what the recitation. But when I had asked this question, my mother-in-law had told me that Krishna looked into the eyes of Arjuna, and Arjuna looked into the eyes of Krishna, and it was exactly some seconds where actually these conversation actually happened. Am I wrong with this understanding, or it is 40 minutes as you had this one?
Mataji, first thing is that normally this is what I've heard, that materialistically in-laws relations are always not so great, not so happy. But you have made your in-laws as your spiritual guru. Hats off to you, first of all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Second thing, see, we take 2 hours or maybe more than that to chant the 700 shlokas because we are materialistic people, right? But for Krishna and Arjun, it was not chanting or not doing just a shloka recitation. They are not meant for shloka recitation. Krishna was telling something, Arjun is asking something. It was a dialogue between Krishna and Arjun. They have taken 40 minutes, not some seconds, or not they have seen into the eyes. Definitely they would have seen into the eyes because there was a discussion going on between them. But 40 minutes is the time duration which they have took to discuss this entire 700 shlokas. That means discussion between Krishna and Arjuna has happened. That is the right context. What I have heard from my teachers.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad. I just wanted to clear that one only. And we hope definitely we will attend all the future enlightening classes which will be hosted through this medium, and definitely share the message with our friends also. Dhanyavad
Yes,
Prabhuji, and Dhanyavad Sri Vidya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Again, let me reiterate that this is not the end of the level 1. Actually, I would say it's a beginning of the spiritual journey. We have just sown the seeds. The seeds is going to germinate, and when it will germinate, it will further rise into the form of a plant, and then it will further become a stronger like a tree. So let's start this journey, put our efforts into it, and let's try to understand the scriptures in much more details. Let's try to read. See, Prabhupada said that if you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, then at least you need to read 6 times. And whenever you read the shloka, the bhavart, everything, every time you read, the meanings will differ. Every time it will differ. So at least 6 times of reading, then you will have a proper understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Harinder Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Harinder ji, please unmute. Harinder ji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji, I just want to share like my experience. Like it's a dream that I had 2 days ago. Like I dreamt of like I am in some holy place, like Vrindavan kitchen. I'm standing. So there are devotees working and preparing the dishes and prasadas. So what I saw is like Prabhupada comes towards me, and he handed over his prasadas plate to me, and there was jaggery in it, and green colored some sabji was there in it. And I told Prabhupada that I am the devotee of Krishna. So and he laughed at me, and he was really happy looking at me and on hearing that I'm a devotee. So I said, like, I asked him, like, whenever I sit for chanting, like it always deviates my mind to other materialistic thoughts that I get. So he told me a mantra. I couldn't grasp it, so I couldn't even remember what he said, and he went away. So that was it. I just saw in the dream. Was it a symbol of he wants to, what's the meaning of that? I was just confused.
See, if Prabhupada has come and talked to you, then you should understand that he wanted to make you understand Prabhu, the Bhagavad Gita. And this Bhagavad Gita is been written by Prabhupada only. So read this, try to understand this, make a progress towards the devotional service. That's what he means to say.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Deepak Prabhuji, please unmute. Deepak Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question is regarding a food item. I just want to know whether eating egg is good or bad. Eating egg.
Prabhuji, as far as the sattvic food is concerned, egg is not a sattvic food.
Okay.
We refrain from doing that, Prabhuji.
But I guess it doesn't come in the category of meat.
Prabhuji, see, this is what the normally people try to give as a reasoning that it's shakahari, it's mansahari. No, Prabhuji, something which is not recommended is not recommended, irrespective of what kind of it is. So let's not make use of it. Chhod do usko.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Mataji, is there any other questions? Hare Krishna, Mataji, is there any question into the chat box? If there is no question, Mataji, then shall we end it? Since there is no questions, I would say let's continue the journey to our spiritual progress. Let's make the spiritual progress. Heartfelt thanks to Sri Vidya Mataji for supporting us in this entire endeavor of delivering a very seamless and better class to everyone. Vancha kalpatra bhaischa kripa sindhu bhayo cha patita nam paune vayo vaishno namo namo. So we will meet again in the coming sessions, especially on the coming Sunday, not tomorrow Sunday, the next one, the 6th of March, where we will be having a lecture on the part 2, the path towards hell, which we
Thank you,
neither,
Prabhuji.
which no one wants to go. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Many thanks to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much.
Hare Krishna. Let's meet on the 6th of March then. Hare Krishna.